right, everybody. I'm Tom Britt here in the @Geismobile with our newest publisher.
That's right.
The newest magazine coming out in January with @Lawrence. This is Neal Moore.
Hi there.
You can hold your applause. But Neal's been with us. You've been writing now for what, 6 or 7 years?
Something like that. Yeah, it's been a long time. That's how we began. Was in a writer role, and slowly began to take on more responsibility with you over the years. Started doing some video production work with you, which we've done now for a couple of years. And my wife Kathy, who's a co-publisher with me of @Lawrence, she writes for the magazines, and so we're excited about this new extension of who we are as people who are involved with media. Kathy and I have been involved in media from our entire professional career.
Now you were behind the anchor desk, and she was on the sales side, right?
She was on the sales side. We actually met this is a great line. I met my wife at WIFE. We worked
WIFE.
We worked at WIFE Radio, and
what a coincidence.
Yeah, and I was in the news area, and she was the producer of one of the talk shows, and that's where we met. And literally, we've been involved in communication and media the entire time that we've been married.
And you live in Lawrence.
We live in Lawrence,
Old Oakland Golf Course.
Yeah, we've
right?
lived in Lawrence Township since '85, I think it was, and then moved to just south of 75th Street, 75th and Oakland, right on the golf course there, which is in Lawrence, in the boundary of Lawrence, if you will, for 8 or 9 years there.
Your kids went through Lawrence schools?
Our daughter did, and and all the kids went through the elementary level schools there. So we've had a long history with Lawrence. Know a lot of people in Lawrence. I think what I'm as excited about as anything with Lawrence is, there's a lot to like about Lawrence. There really is a lot going on there that I don't think people have any. Frankly, I don't think people have taken a lot of time to figure out and understand about Lawrence. It has some preconceived notions about it as a community. Some earned, maybe most of it not so much so, but to some extent that's water, under the bridge. This is about taking a community that has a real history, but also some great promise, and helping by being this voice in the community, of helping them tell the great stories about Lawrence and keeping people informed, making sure they know what's happening in their neighborhoods. And we're applying in Lawrence the model that's worked with you for so many years. Talk a little bit about what over 10 years that you've learned, and why it's going to work in Lawrence.
Well, I'm like you. I live in Lawrence Township. Yeah. I live in the city of Lawrence. I'm one of the only GHPOA neighborhoods actually in the city of Lawrence.
Yeah.
We hail from Crossing South. But my first house I tried to buy was in Lawrence back when I moved out here back in 1998.
Yeah.
And I was going to live at the Fort.
Okay. Those
homes along 56th Street.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Sure.
And that was my first experience with politics in Lawrence, because they couldn't get the home. They couldn't get the permits.
Oh yeah, you told me that story. It's
by
like
the
months
mayor.
and months and months of waiting, and eventually it all fell through. Yeah.
It all fell through. So I got my money back, and I went up to Geis, and I bought the house we live in now, still in Lawrence. But what I've seen in Lawrence over the years is that there's just a vacuum there. There's no media. There's no good news being put out. The only time you get on the news is when you have a cat die at the shelter,
right?
Or if you have a shooting somewhere, or if you've got a sign controversy, or somebody's falling out with a police chief.
Some political driven thing, exactly.
That's the only time you hear about Lawrence. But the positive side is, if you go down the Fort and you go down there, you've got a golf course that's world class. You've got a state park in the middle of the city.
Yeah, beautiful.
You've got trail connectivity coming out the wazoo, especially this new trail that just opened up that connects into the Monon.
The brand new dog park which opened.
The new dog park.
Really nice.
You got Ivy Tech there. You've got
tons of assets.
Tons of things, but you never hear about that because all they want to talk about is a police chief or a sign controversy. So I'm excited because I've been wanting to do Lawrence for a long time. We actually have done a lot of work with the Lawrence Chamber.
Absolutely.
Jessica Tower has been wonderful to work with. There's a lot
we've talked about Lawrence, you and I, for a long time about what we might be able to accomplish there. And timing has to be right for these things, and the timing is right for Kathy and I to do this. Kathy will be primarily involved with sales, so those of you in Lawrence will be hearing from her. And she'll be a great person to get to know.
Right.
She understands promotion and events as well as advertising and how to bring those things together so that it's a real win-win for everybody. I'll be involved primarily on the editorial side. I have a long background in journalism, so we kind of make a dynamic duo, I'd like to think, in terms of what we're going to bring to the table.
It's a perfect storm, really, because there's really nothing else in Warren. So by default, you can kind of become the default publication.
Yeah.
But secondly, you guys have such a great tandem background in sales and editorial, and the fact you've already been doing it with us and here at Geist and covering Lawrence for Geist.
Yeah, and we know what your model is and how that works. And again, it's more than just, hey, I want to sell an ad. It's about building the sense of community, understanding what the stories are that people want to know and hear about. And with regard to ad sales and sponsorships, it's knowing how to package things in a way that are meaningful to the advertiser and to the people who are participating in those things. So that's why it works, and that's what we've learned from you over the years, and we're looking forward to being able to apply those things now with our very own publication. And so we're really excited about it. I think Lawrence is, like you said, in some sense an untapped has untapped potential on many fronts. And I love history, as you do. There's tons of great history involved with Lawrence. Of course, the military background is a big part of it. There are lots of other things that go on there, and so we're going to find out those good stories, and we're going to help promote activities and events, people that deserve attention, help promote neighborhood-oriented events or community-wide events. We want to be a part of those kinds of things. Really a member of the community. Well,
and we've already had a little bit of a start there, but I think now this monthly repetition will help build that sense of community. And so if you guys live in Lawrence or you have a business in Lawrence, you've got news in Lawrence, you've got kids in Lawrence, any connection to Lawrence whatsoever,
if you buy gas on Pendleton Pike, we want to hear from you.
So the website's atlawrence.com. It's been up for years. We're freshen it up a little bit.
Absolutely, that's underway right now, and you're right. It's not as though this is not a whole new thing. We've been involved with Lawrence through at Geist for a number of years, and so that really does give us a nice foothold. This will be publication number 6 for the Town Post Network.
Right. There's 3 more following that, but this is the next one up. So if you guys live in Lawrence, you want to advertise and be a part of this and help support it. It is all advertising funded, so this isn't something like the city's giving us a check to do this. We actually have to fund this on our own. So help us out. Buy some ads, show your support of the community. It is going to be direct mailed. I think there's over 9,000 being direct mailed within Lawrence. There's also going to be rack distribution at Marsh, Kroger, CVS, and then different watering holes and restaurants will also have the magazine. So what we'll do is put the information on the screen of how to contact Neal and Kathy. Best of luck. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
We're excited. Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
I'm excited too, and look for it in your mailbox. If you live in Lawrence, look for it the first week of January. It'll be showing up probably about January the 3rd, I think.
And we love to hear from people. You don't have to be just an advertiser. If you got a good story idea, just something you want us to know about your community, please contact us. We will.
But if you wave money, you listen a little
But if you have money in hand, it's always a little help. Absolutely. So, but seriously, we want to hear from you. All right? Good.